troops tonight backing up the Iraqis, their biggest assault yet on ISIS. Our team on the front lines right now. The ABC News exclusive. We take you right inside Guantanamo prison tonight. The colonel who has never taken cameras to the roof, and what the detainees yell at us.
ABC News!
If the prison closes, will some of those detainees be brought to the U.S.? And the 11-year-old boy who walked in during a home invasion, the video and what he does, a lesson for everyone.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night, and we begin with Donald Trump's major claim that this election is rigged. The president taking aim at Trump because of those words. In Colorado, Trump repeating his claim today. Members of his own party tonight saying that's just not true. Also this evening, People magazine publishing a new article. They say they have colleagues supporting their reporter's story. She has accused Trump of sexual misconduct, and this photo taken with the reporter and the Trumps at Mar-a-Lago. ABC's Tom Yamas leading us off.
Tonight, with just 3 weeks to go, Donald Trump hammering his message the election could be stolen.
They have rigged it from the beginning. It's rigged. It's a bad system. But they even want to try and rig the election at the polling booths.
But today, a stern rebuke from President Obama.
You start whining before the game's even over. If whenever things are going badly for you and you lose, you start blaming somebody else, then you don't have what it takes to be in this job.
The president rejecting Trump's claims of widespread voter fraud.
I'd advise Mr. Trump to stop whining and go try to make his case to get votes.
Backstage, before one of his rallies, I asked Trump for proof the election is rigged.
What evidence do you have of voter fraud?
You look at certain parts of the country and you see the kind of voter fraud you have. You see people that have been dead for 10 years and they're still so-called voting.
Experts say that's just not true and that voter fraud is extremely rare. Florida Senator Marco Rubio dismissing Trump's claims as preposterous.
We have 67 counties in this state, each of which conduct their own elections. I promise you there is not a 67-county conspiracy to rig this election.
But Trump brushing off concerns from fellow Republicans, especially House Speaker Paul Ryan.
The Republican Party of Wisconsin.
Trump's crowd taking on the speaker in his home state of Wisconsin.
Do you think he wants you to win?
Well, maybe not, because maybe he wants to run in 4 years, or maybe he doesn't know how to win.
But Ryan not the only Republican breaking with Trump, since at least 9 women accused him of sexual misconduct. Melania Trump defending her husband.
This was all organized from the opposition. Did they ever check the background of these women? They don't have any facts.
But today, one of those women getting new support, seen in this photo standing next to Trump in 2005 at his Florida resort Mar-a-Lago. She was there to profile the Trumps, but says when Melania was out of the room, Trump shut the door behind us. Within seconds, he was pushing me against the wall and forcing his tongue down my throat. Trump denies it.
Why wasn't it part of the story? Why didn't they make it part of the story?
But today, People magazine published testimonials from 5 friends and colleagues who say she confided in them shortly after the alleged assault.
She was very shaken up. She was scared. She wanted to know what to do. She was scared of retaliation.
Tom Yamas joins us live tonight from Colorado. And Tom, you've just learned new details at this hour about Trump's strategy going into tomorrow night's debate.
David, more psychological warfare, and this is truly incredible. Donald Trump at the last debate had invited President Bill Clinton's accusers, and tomorrow night, President Obama's half-brother Malik will be at the debate in the hall as a guest of Donald Trump. Now, Malik has clashed over his brother's policies as well as Hillary Clinton's, but he says tomorrow night he's there because he supports Donald Trump for president. David?
Tom Yamas leading us off tonight. Tom, thanks as always. Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, deep in debate prep, her team convinced that the preparation has paid dividends in the first 2 debates. And tonight, WikiLeaks with a new batch of emails from inside the Clinton campaign and a list tonight. Hillary Clinton's other choices, her shortlist for VP. Here's ABC's Cecilia Vega.
Hillary Clinton heading to Vegas to take on Donald Trump. Asked how debate prep is going. Clinton spending the last 3 days studying behind closed doors in this New York hotel as Trump mocks her disappearing act.
She's resting for the debate. She's resting. Was she rested for the last debate? She didn't do too well.
In the past 3 months, Trump holding more than twice as many campaign events, 81 to her 32. But Clinton's team not apologizing, insisting those debate prep days pay off, and the polls prove it. On that stage tomorrow, aides say she is prepared to address the slow drip of hacked WikiLeaks emails. Another batch from campaign chairman John Podesta out today, none independently verified by ABC News. One apparently sent by Podesta to Clinton a list of 39 possible running mates. Their names organized, he writes, in rough food groups like Latinos, women, white men, African Americans, military leaders. Also included business titans like Bill and Melinda Gates, Apple's Tim Cook, and Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. And right there at the bottom of the list, all alone, Bernie Sanders.
And Cecilia Vega with us live tonight as well. And Cecilia, you're also learning new details about Hillary Clinton's strategy going into this ever important debate tomorrow night.
David, she's been waiting to hit Donald Trump for his comments about that rigged election, also about the women who have come forward to accuse him of sexual misconduct. She is expected to do that directly for the very first time right here on this stage tomorrow, David.
So she'll go there on both issues. Cecilia, our thanks to you. That final presidential debate tomorrow, full coverage right here. I'll be joining George and the entire Powerhouse political team tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. In the meantime, tonight, we go overseas now into the battle against ISIS in Iraq. U.S. forces right now backing up the Iraqi assault on the city of Mosul. Thousands of Iraqi troops moving in from several directions now, tightening the noose around the ISIS stronghold. ISIS fighting back with firepower, and you're about to see it. ABC's Alex Marquardt from the front lines again tonight.
Advancing forces engaged in a firefight with ISIS today, firing from the rooftops of abandoned buildings. While inside Mosul, ISIS propaganda videos illustrate the group's bravado as they fire heavy weapons and a rocket towards an Iraqi bulldozer. The fireball weaving across the dusty plain. And then, from the rear, American forces are advising and calling in airstrikes.
These Black Hawk helicopters taking off now from this Iraqi base. There's no doubt that the Iraqis would not be able to take back Mosul without this crucial American support.
One by one, ISIS-held villages are falling, troops clearing house after house and making some deadly discoveries. Here, 24 makeshift chemical weapons, and below, networks of tunnels. This one where ISIS was apparently caught off guard. Eggs still in a bucket, food in the pot.
David, on this base, they are coordinating the advance to Mosul, which they say is going faster than expected. But with the forces facing that intense resistance, no one wants to predict how long this could take. David?
Alex Marquardt and our team in Iraq, our thanks to you all. In the meantime, back here at home, and we turn next to the new and alarming report tonight after a deadly plane crash right into an apartment building. The NTSB concluding its investigation of the crash of a business jet in Akron a year ago. The plane slamming into that building miles from the airport, killing everyone on board. And tonight, right here, what the report now reveals happened in the seconds right before the crash. Here's ABC's Lindsay Davis.
Tonight, answers about what caused a charter plane to crash into this Ohio apartment building last November, killing the 2 pilots and 7 passengers on board.
We have a plane into a house, heavy fire. We have a lot of wires down.
Today, the National Transportation Safety Board described it as a litany of failures.
Whether we're talking about the cockpit level or the organizational level, it was infested with sloppiness.
The NTSB says the captain, who should have been landing the jet, failed to take the controls from the first officer, even as the plane descended twice as fast as advised.
It just blew up, and it just sounded like gunfire going off.
The NTSB says the charter company, Execuflight, also failed to investigate why the pilots had been fired from past jobs. Execuflight did not immediately respond to requests for comment.
David, the report says that insufficient FAA oversight contributed to the crash. The FAA says it will now carefully review the recommendations. David?
Lindsay Davis, our thanks to you tonight. We turn next this evening to an ABC News exclusive. We take you inside the prison at Guantanamo Bay at a critical point, right before this election. President Obama promised to close the prison, and tonight we've learned another detainee has been released, sent to another country, several more ready to go. It would leave about 40 left at the prison. And tonight, right here, the colonel who told us he's never taken cameras up to the roof, and what the detainees begin yelling at us when they see us. And we ask how much American taxpayers are spending for every detainee to keep it open. And if it closes, do they come here?
Fire, 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 fire.
We fly to one of the most notorious prisons in the world, on the U.S. Naval Base at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. We arrive at the detention center.
There was no single cell.
And meet Colonel David Heath, essentially the prison warden. And immediately, he takes us down the darkened hallways of one of the camps still open here, Camp 6.
So this is a typical cell block?
We are then shown many of the detainees. We're not allowed to show their faces, and we watch as the detainees use army mats for prayer. We can actually see the detainees. They cannot see us back through this glass. We just watched as the guards placed these orange cones in front of the doors here. That's a signal to the other guards not to open the doors, not to disrupt them during prayer. There are so many signs of their daily routine here. Their laundry hanging, their meals, detainees carrying styrofoam cups and plates. We watched as one of the guards put on one of these face masks.
Yes. Lessen the risk of them getting something put in their eyes or their mouth.
He is talking about a cocktail of bodily fluids, blood, urine, feces. They call it splashing. They show us the kind of cell for detainees who protest, who are non-compliant. We see the evidence of the splashing on the ceiling.
It does happen.
The colonel tells me there have been fewer clashes with the guards because he says many here sense they could be getting out.
The State Department is working very hard to find these detainees places to go. David, we're heading into the control room.
Attention!
Carry on.
There are monitors inside and out. We see the rec yards. Once watching hundreds of inmates, there are now 60 detainees left. Do you have any idea how much American taxpayers are paying per detainee?
No, I don't. I've got to be prepared for the worst case scenario.
Tonight, the State Department says American taxpayers are spending more than $7 million per detainee every year.
It's our pharmacy here.
And those prisoners are aging. Americans paying for their medicine.
Crestor, which would be a cholesterol medication.
But this is for people who are aging in front of you.
That is correct.
I'll let you go first.
And then, a rare moment. When was the last time you came up to the roof with cameras?
Oh, I've never done this.
We approach the edge. We notice the track for exercise, now a worn path through the gravel.
I'm done, I'm exhausted.
We see them walking on treadmills.
NCIC, we see you in black, huh?
And then they start to yell our way.
Hey, what's up, Colonel? See you, Charlie North. I'm going Saudi Arabia.
Suddenly, a request.
We need treatment and electrical.
As we stand there, they take advantage of a rare moment to speak to the world.
ABC News. Tonight I watched the TV. Put me in CNN, News, ABC News.
They're aware.
They are.
You've heard Donald Trump say he wants to send more people to Guantanamo.
I have.
This morning I watched President Obama talking about Gitmo, right? Guantanamo Bay, which by the way, we are keeping open. And we're going to load it up with some bad dudes, believe me. We're going to load it up.
Hillary Clinton says she stands by the president's plan to shut Guantanamo down because of what it represents around the world. But if you close Guantanamo, what about the detainees deemed too dangerous to transfer? What do you do with the 41 left? If they're a safety risk, the worst of the worst, as we've heard, what do you do with them?
Yeah, there's no question that Guantanamo houses some dangerous, hardened terrorists, including individuals who are responsible for the 9/11 attacks. What we intend to do is work with the Congress to find a suitable facility in the United States.
Excuse my French, but we say hell no.
Near Florence, Colorado, at a town hall meeting, some of the Americans against it.
We are at war. You have to have a place to put war prisoners.
It's an invitation for an attack locally.
They live not far from one of the most secure supermax prisons in the world. A lot of the families who live in these communities, they don't want these high-risk detainees in their communities.
They have in their communities already very hardened terrorists. They have Mr. Moussaoui. They have the shoe bomber. They have the underwear bomber.
What do you say to Americans who might say, if you move the detainees here, you're simply creating a Guantanamo right here in the U.S.?
Well, it wouldn't be Guantanamo in the U.S.
But you would have 40 or so detainees stuck here in the U.S.
That's true, but there is an independent threat that Guantanamo itself presents. The image of Guantanamo forever is going to be of individuals in orange jumpsuits in open-air cages.
Our exclusive reporting continues tonight on Nightline with that new headline that some of the detainees transferred to other countries have now returned to terror. We traveled to a country accepting detainees, and what we discovered you'll see tonight on Nightline. And tweet me, let me know what you think of what you've seen so far. In the meantime, there is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday. The home invasion, the 11-year-old boy walking in on it all. Video showing the suspect moving right through the house. And what the boy does next, a lesson for us all. Also, there is news tonight coming in about a diving disaster. The two men found at the bottom of a dangerous underwater cave. And then the history-making moment on The Price is Right. What happened that suddenly had all three contestants celebrating at once? We'll be right back.